Okay guys, welcome to this video, and here I just want to show you what it really takes to create an edge, right? What it takes to create an edge. The things you need to do if you want to actually create an edge. I'm assuming that you are a beginner and probably you've gone through the 5-day mechanical free trading program. So you have the foundation, you have the basics, you understand distance, you've done your assignments and all of that, right? So I want to show you what it really takes to create an edge. So let's just wait for this guy to load up. Don't know what's wrong with you right now. Um, come on now, come on now, come on now, come on now. Don't go play with me. Okay, so you need to understand something. You'll be needing two things. I know people say that trading is this, trading is that. At the end of the day, it's mathematics. When I say mathematics, it's not the kind that you did in school that was very difficult for you. People say I'm not good in math, so I can trade. That's not true, because the side of mathematics that you need in trading forex, it's not the same one you use in the classroom when you're finding x for eternity, and the x you'll not still find it. You understand? This one is actual useful mathematics that eventually leads you to money. The exact same way, if you're learning, um let's say something like coding now, one of the best ways to learn to code is um to learn to trade to coding trading bots, because that way you're doing something that eventually leads to you making a lot of money, as opposed to having to um learn coding all this while for years, then maybe find a client that may or may not pay you well and all of that. But it's just a lot of hard work that still does not lead you to make money directly. But well, I'm not saying programmers don't have money, but it's just a lot of efforts, except you're pivoting into SaaS, like you're creating your own app or something that eventually you monetize, and you don't have to keep selling your service for money. You're able to exchange your time, you're able to remove your time from your money. If you're not doing that, oh my god, you're just going to be in this vicious cycle of working so much. And if you were to channel all that energy into something else, and the amount of brain power you're using, it could yield way more in terms of monetary effects. So now back to what I'm saying. So I want to show you what it takes to create a system from scratch. Let's say you have the basics down. This is what you need to do. Now you would not be taking any random strategy off of YouTube, because you'd most of those systems don't work. It's rubbish. You need to do your own due diligence and come up with something that resonates with your own personality, right? And I want to show you the word. I'm going to show you from two perspectives. Perspective one, having a very simple system that you just want to test, versus having to create a system from scratch. Then option three, which is by far the fastest and then the easiest fast track. Let's do that. So what you'll be needing is Traders Casa, and normally I have my paid plan, but imagine that you are starting from scratch. Probably you'll be using the free version, so let's use the free version, right? And you'd also be needing Google Sheets, where you document whatever thing you're doing. So let me quickly log in here. Do I have my details saved? I should. Okay, for some reason Traders Casa is refusing to work, so I'm just gonna have to use TradingView for this example. So let's just bear with me as I use TradingView to do it. Get me? Okay, TradingView, let's go. Yep, boom. Okay, let me go to fresh chart. Let me hide this first of all. Excuse me. Let me use USD for example. No, not FX. No. Wonder. Okay, so it should be a fresh chart. So, let me just clean this off. Let me take all of this off. So we're going to imagine that we have a system, and this system is a very simple what do we call it now? Let's go to the 1 hour time frame. It's gonna be a very simple system. From the 1 hour time frame. Let's start from the beginning of August. Yeah. Although when you want to do this, you're going to need up to a full year, like an entire year. So let's just start from the beginning of the year, just so that makes more sense. Now I said you need the full year, but that's like the minimum, and that was not going to be enough data, especially when you're testing on the 1 hour. That's not going to be enough data at all. You need at least 100 trades, at least. So depending on how many pairs you want to trade, you need at least 100 trades at least to even begin to see if that system works or not. You've not even done any improvement or anything. So some things you may take away from this video: you may learn how to drastically improve your win rates and your average risk to reward. Let's use my old system that talks about the SBR in my last email. Let me see if it will work in today's market. So it's a very simple one, and all it has to do break and retest. So first things first, you have to mark structure. So the first thing you want to have is a set of rules that govern the system. Now, how do you get this set of rules? You get them by testing if you're creating from scratch. But that's a whole goddamn lot of work. I'm not even kidding. Because you have to test OBs, which ones work, which ones don't work. You have to test FVGs, which ones work, which ones don't work. You have to test a lot of things. That can take you years of time. Yeah? So the alternative is to find a system. But even when you do that, you still have to test it as deeply as I'm about to show you. So first things first, you have to outline out the rules. So one, for that SVR, the system was very simple. Outline structure. To only buy in uptrends and only sell in downtrends. Enter. Okay, wait for a break and retest. Then 5. I can't go to the 5-minute time frame as far back as January because this is the trading view free plan. I could have done that on Traders Casa, but we just have to manage using just the 1 hour. Look and retest. Use the H1 engulfing candle or hammer to enter. Okay, so let's use this. And I had another level to this, and that was the Fibonacci. If it breaks the retest zone, use a fib 61.8 to 75 point whatever that zone is. Okay, so this is a very simple system. Now note that systems like this will never outperform systems that have multi-layers, multi-time frames, and get some real sniper entries. It's just not possible. In terms of win rates, they may even be close, but in terms of risk to reward, these ones will not go anywhere near systems like our slide strategy and all of that. So let's just see what this looks like. So first things first, you have to outline the trend. So now we can see that we are in a downtrend. So starting from 2025, let's find our structural points. So now this is the overall low that we can see here. Now while you're doing this, you want to make sure that you have a Google Sheet open. Let's open Google Sheets, because that's how you track the trades. Google Sheets. Now I can show you some very advanced sheets, but let's even do the most basic of the most basic. There you won't get the most value from, just the least amount of work you need to do to get something running, right? You just get something. So all basically you need on this sheet is SN, like number, right? SN, you need something like dates, you need pair, you need, this is when you're not creating a system, because I want to show you how to create a system here. my god, we're spending a lot of time, a lot of goddamn time. So let's just switch it into actually testing a system. Pair outcome, was it a buy, was it a action? First of all, action, then outcome, was it a win or a loss? Then you want to trade screenshots. Yeah, you want to take a screenshot of the trade. Yeah, also I think what else you want to track. Now I track a lot of other things, but I'm just trying to make it as easy as possible for you. What else do I want to track? Dates, day. I think I should track the day as well. Date is not just enough. Let's track the day. Day. Pair action, outcome. Engulfing candle and hammers are the same thing, so I don't need to track which of them I'm using. Average risk to reward. I need to track risk to reward. RR onto the right. Average to reward. RR. Okay, so I think that should be enough. Let's go back to the charts. Where are my charts? Okay, right there. So the whole idea behind this thing is, okay, this is the structural level, this is the low that just got broken, and we're expecting the price should react off of there, right? But it doesn't always happen like that. So let's look at what happened when price came into it. Did we see a candlestick that meets our criteria, which is like a full-blown bearish engulfing, or a hammer? Now the one we saw, this candle closed above the zone, so it is not valid. So I said if the zone doesn't work, we revert to using a Fibonacci, and you draw Fibonacci from the high here to this low all the way down here. And let me switch this Fib to RSI Fib. Okay, so now as you can see, what we have here is a very tricky something, but there are always ways to go around this. Okay, so this is the zone itself, and price is broken past it, but what you see price do right back is it starts to reject. This is the problem with non-mechanical systems. Normally, as it broke past this level, you're not even looking to trade this thing at all. But hear me out. This is when I used to trade it. I used to do this. I would if it's still within the zone and I get something like a double top, it's very valid. So let me add that to it, the rules. So sometimes when you find yourself breaking things, instead of seeing as a break, add it as a rule. But that's when it's not fully mechanical, when it's still discretionary. But you'd have to do this the exact same way every single time. Okay, now moving on. 7. We can take M's and W's inside of our structure range if structural points or Fib is broken. Great. So now you can also see that this may lead to multiple losses in one POI, but you still make money overall. So now let's go and scrutinize this second part of the trade. Okay, this second part of the M. What do we have here? We have this candle, we have this candle, we have this candle. That's a bearish hammer, and if you're not satisfied with this bearish hammer, you can see this is an evening star recreation with these 4 candles, which is also going to give you a bearish hammer, or you can see this as a bearish engulfing if you want. But you could have entered here for a very crazy sniper entry, but if you're not confident with that, you can take this, which is a much more valid signal that okay, we're selling. So your stop loss would be obviously above this highs here, and we can create a rule for that. Let's see if the highest high is 23 pips. Let's add 5 pips to that. That'll be 28 pips right here. Yeah, and that gives us our stop loss. And this is a very big trade actually. All trades will not be like this. And then your TP is just the low right here, and your first trade is a 1:6, which is quite beautiful. If you see, it's quite beautiful. So you can just go and record it. You first of all take the screenshot of the trade on trading view, copy link, yeah, and the date. What's the date? Let's check that out. Excuse me. This is January 7th, 12 o'clock. January 7th, that's 7th January. Day, what day was that just now? What day was that? That was Tuesday. Okay, that was Tuesday. Then pair, EU, action, sell, RR, 6, outcome, win, trade screenshots, boom. Just quite nice. Now let's go back there. Okay, now the next point of structure is right here, this whole zone, and finally it's broken. As you can see, it is broken, but we do not get a retest. Price blast through it immediately, right? So if you actually want to go about structure the way I do structure now, this would be so crazy. Let me explain why. Because what you'll be doing instead is you'll be looking at this low, right? Looking at this low, then this would be a new high, because that's the high that caused the break if this structural point. But anyways, price has broken past that. What do we have here? Do you have this break? Now you're looking at something different. We're still bearish though, and all you'd have done though is to look at something like, do we have a fib here? This low? No, we do not have a fib here. Okay, we do have a fib. You'd have taken a loss here. You'd have taken a probably a loss here. Short position here with this bearish candle here. Stop loss above that. How many pips? 31 plus 5, 34, 36. You're taking a loss here. Yeah, and TP here. Boom. Out of anyone. Oh, it's too low. 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 So I would not even take it. Let's add one more rule to this thing. This is how you keep adding rules, removing rules till you find something that works. Then when you find that thing that works, you start to test all over again, because if you don't start it again, it will not be accurate. Minimum RR is equals to 1:2. If it's not 1:2, I'm not taking it. So that trade will not be valid because it's too low. Okay, I'll make it 103 safe to make our trades more high quality and all that. Let's make it 103. That way we're picking a lot of trades, except we see too many trades on 1:2 and it's making us miss trades. Then that's what we'll switch it up. Okay, now we're done with this zone. Let's take this off as well. Boom. So we have price breaking above. This is a point of structure, and that's broken. This is broken. So we've probably got a change of trend right here, especially after price does this. Boom. This is the trend change confirmation here. Okay, now we've switched to trends. Okay, great. Now what are we looking at? Perfect lining of the high, break and retest. Remember, that's the first line for our reversal points. And what do we have here? We have, see, first of all, the candle that touches it. This is too wide an SL, so you will never enter of that trade. This is not good. So finally, what do we have? Scrutinize. We have this candle, we have this candle, we have, this is more like a doji. This is not more like a doji, it's more like a hammer. So this is the final hammer that should give you in. If you don't enter off of this, you miss the trade. So probably that's where you'd want to enter the trade off of. Stop loss should be here, but plus 5 pips, that would be 17. Yeah, and take profit at the top right here. Boom. 1:4, that's the one that we could actually take. So we can actually record this one. Let's record this one. So next trade is the win as well. RR is 4. This time we're buying. We're still on EU. And the day is what? The day is what? This is Tuesday, 21st January. 1 o'clock. Tuesday, 21st January, 1 o'clock. So just 2 trades in January. That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay, so we're back on the charts. Now you need to understand that the way I'm doing it, it may not be that easy for you, because I have the eyes of someone who's been here for a long time, and I can see some things that you cannot see. So it's gonna be much more difficult for you. So now let's keep following structure. We've got this new high broken. Do we have anything coming off of that high? Those highs? Boom. Nope. There's no retest coming on there. The next thing we can do is to look for a fib from this low to the high. And do we have a tap? Yes, we do have a tap on the 61.8 zone. And do we have an entry candle? This is too wide an entry candle, so we probably can't enter off of it. But so is there anything we can do here? There's basically nothing we can do here. You can't enter off of this. It's too wide. It's just too wide. It's too wide. You can't. If you want to enter off of this, you do not see any. For that means you have to enter off of this big candle here. Stop loss below it. This the risk to reward is not going to be up to 103, so we can't even take it. No, it's not valid. So on to the next one, because that's not valid. Then the next high that got broken is right here. So the next point of entry we can be looking at is something like that, and boom, we do have an entry. So let's zoom in to see what that entry would have been. So we do have this candle, we do have this candle, that candle, that candle, and boom, we have this big one, which would not have been wait, let's zoom in right here. So would you have entered off of this? No, because see the last candle before it, it's not an engulfing candle. It's not really a pattern that tells you that buyers have come in at all. So this guy, all of them are showing bearish. Okay, I think I know where I would have entered off of this candle, but let's see if price took us out. Boom. That's a bullish hammer, even though it has black color. So look at this low. We are at 7.6. At 5, that's 13. So we'll be safe. 13. Yeah. Or 12 actually. 12, not 13. So now that's your stop loss. Take profit at this high. 104. Wow, we're on a 3-win streak. How nice. Fair enough. Let's go. This is 104 again. That's another win. And trade screenshot, let's take that. And this is just on one time frame. You don't have to do anything else, just one time frame. We'll bought again, still on EU. And what day was that? That was Monday, 27 January, 6 a.m. Now we're not even adding time to our trading. 27th January. This is me breaking down all people that say that anything outside of SMC does not work. That's a lie, man. I used the system a long time ago, and it's still working. Okay. So we're still bullish here until price decides to break here. Price breaks this level of structure and then breaks this level of structure, and then we start to doubt if we're still bullish based on our rules. And we are not going to start selling yet until price confirms that it wants to go bearish. After price breaks that, the next point I want to see price break again is until price confirms the trend with this particular system. You can't really do anything, right? So once we see the next break, we're not confident that okay, price may be bearish now. Now with this scene, the first point of reaction is our low. Do we get anything from there? Of course not, and it's not even going to be a valid opportunity to do anything. So the next thing you want to do is use the fib after price broke that. So where's the broken pair? This is the first break. You can use that as your, or you can use here if you want to be more. Okay, great. So we have a tap into the fib, but the candle is too wide and this is not really an opportunity. So on to the next. price then does something very mad. It just drops with this big gap, then comes all the way up here. There's really nothing for us to see, and basically this is a trend. This is a break of structure here, but we're still bearish until price decides to go above this one. So basically in all of this place, you've not been doing anything. You basically just be waiting for price to confirm its trend. But if you want to be a rebel and you want to like do internal structure, you'll be caught up in so many internal moves that may not really reward you. But then we see price giving us that break again, that okay, now we're bullish, right? Once we see that, boom, we can see that first of all the high. Did we get it? Did we get it? Did we get it a trade? Yes, we did. Okay, no, they're kind of close below it, so we can't take it. We can't take it. So the next one that happens, boom. This may be our first loss. Yes, most likely going to be our first loss. So but first things first, we want to check the profit potential of the trade before we can agree if it's our first loss or not. So that will be your first. That will be your entry point. 5 steps below 8. That will be 13. Then tick P at the high here, 1.5 is too small, so we're not going to be taking it in the first place. Then price decides to break structure twice, giving us a trend change, and breaks again. Then we're now confident that okay, great, now we've had price change the trend. Now this is where we'll be looking to take our trade from, but nothing happens there because it's too small. Then the next point of interest is going to be the Fibonacci, which perfectly aligns with this guy, and we can take an entry off of it. This is this candle right here perfectly. The high is 5 pips plus 5, 10. Something called the ATR that you could use, but okay, we're on the 1-2 and we still will not take it because it's too small and doesn't meet our rules, so you just ignore the trade. So on to the next one. Then price breaks structure again, which is now this point here. And so do we have a trade? Yes, we do have a trade, and it's this big candle here. And let's see if it gives us enough for our rules. Okay, I think it's time to add another thing again. I'll show you what that thing is shortly. Okay, this is 16 plus 5, 21. And TP would have been here, so it's too small. It's not valid for system rules, so we can't take it. So the next thing you want to do is wait for trend to be established again. So we have this break, and then this break confirming that we're bullish. Okay, when that break happens, obviously the high cannot give us anything because there's nothing there. The next point of interest would be the Fibonacci, which is from here to here. And what do we have? I've said something. If the Fibonacci fails, the next point of interest, but first of all, let's see, was there an entry in here? So we have this candle. That's a bullish engulfing to an extent, and probably that would have been our first loss. So let's record that. But if immediately after that there was another trade, so that would have been an entry that you take. 5 pips below that is 18. Then you hit stop loss. Let's see if it was up to 103. Oh, it was not up to 103, so we will not even take it. My god, these rules are protecting us. It's crazy stuff. Okay, so the next entry would have been the M, the double bottom right here. And as you can see, price did give us an entry around. Will you take this as your entry, or will you take this as your entry? Most likely do you want to take this as your entry. So let's use this candle, because you have this candle, you have 3 candles that break it. That's your morning star. Let's see if it gives us 103. If it does give us 103, so this is 9.7 plus 5, 14. Oh, you have to use this low. 14 plus 5, 19. Does it get stopped out, but does it give us 103? It doesn't give us 103, so we can't even take it, and that's that. So all the trades that could probably stop us out, we're not even taking them because you're not up to 103. So we're still waiting for our next trade. So now we're bullish here up until price decides to break here. Okay, so price breaks it, but hasn't really confirmed that we're bearish now, but breaks again and we really can't see anything to do off of there because there's nothing here to react off of. Price just gaps open it and breaks again and then breaks again. So until price confirms the trend, you don't do anything, and then eventually go breaks here to confirm that okay, now we're bullish. So when you see this, now we can take another trade off of here, and boom, what do we have? We have price. This is not a valid low, so we can use that. So this is one. Okay, now this is where I'm going to have to pull up that other rule where we can use the 27 extension as your entry point. So it's a TP point I meant. So this is a long position. Let's see how wide the SL will be. This is 29 plus 5, 34, and what would this TP be? You can actually just target this, but it's too small, it doesn't give us anything. But even if we're using the negative 27 extension, where is that gonna be? TP fib, right? See, negative 27 extension is still not up to 103. Even if you're using 61 point, it's still up to 103. So this is not even going to work. It's not even going to work. So as if you're still without a trade, and we're in March already, so you can see that these systems, though they work, but okay, next point of interest would have been here. We don't get any retests. Next point of interest would have been here, but we don't get any retests. Boom, 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 boom. Next point of interest here, no retests. Price is just running. And then what do we have here? We have this high, this low, the break, no retest. It went far below for just like went below the entire thing. But what do we have here? We have some sort of M, even though it's an extended M, and let's see if we can actually take it. I think this video is getting long already. I'm just showing you what it takes to actually test the system out. So it's pretty low, 35 plus 5, 40. Yes, up with 40. TP here, not up to 103. We're not taking it, still not valid. So the next one we can attempt to try will be this. Boom, nothing happened here. That's not going to be a possible trade. Your fib will be from here to here. 61.8. What do we have? This is too big a candle. Price virtually comes back down in here, so probably you can take an entry from here. Let's see. Stop loss below that is 15.20. TP at the top here, it was 103. It's not 103. We're not taking it. So that's the thing, when your rules are not met, you don't take it. No two ways about it. The next one will be possible. Nope, nothing happens there. What do we have? A fib. Using the OBs are just much better. This is already almost March now, and we're still not having any trades. Okay, so we have this morning store. Too big, price comes back into it. You can eventually take a trade off of here. This is 23 plus 5, 28. Meanwhile, that gives us a 103. So this will be the next trade that we'll take. So we've had so many wins and very few losses simply because I know the exact rules to put in. You may not know these rules, you may not know these things because you do not have the experience, but I know them. I know how to manipulate price, right? To my advantage. But one thing you should take note of is this: if you're aligning with the trend, you'll be right more times than you're wrong. You'd miss some trades, yes, but the times you see, there's almost no system that will create that will not be profitable simply because I understand how to align with the trend. You can see all the places where price was dicey and was moving funny. I avoided it because the trend was not confirmed. It's very simple. Once you can move with the trend, any system you would want to use, it does if you understand structure to a very large extent, will be most likely profitable. You can see the trades took here, see the trades took here, T1 took here. Did we take anyone here? Nope, because they did not meet the rules, and most of them were even losers, the ones that didn't meet the rules. So this one finally worked, and the 103.27 finally in March, on March 14th, Friday. Let's record this one. That'll be the last one I'm recording for this video. I'm just showing you the amount of work you need to do. Now, if you want to trade 4 pairs, 5 pairs, you have to do this for all of them. But you need to get at least 100 trades. And we'll see, we're in March already. We have just 3 trades. Meaning that, okay, let's say on average, we're averaging 3 trades per month. Or even 2 trades per month. In 1 year, you'd have 24 trades. How many years would you need? Around like, 5 years to get up to 100 trades for you to be able to be completely sure that this system works. And let me tell you, it's not just for knowing that it works. When you do that amount of data gathering, what happens to your brain is you master the system to an impeccable level. You'll be able to spot the system anywhere, anytime. Now, this system does not really have all the fireworks. It does not. Yes, I agree, it does not have all the fireworks, but it is fire to an extent. So let's recall this last one. It was a 1-3. It was a win as well. It was a 1-3. Blah blah blah. It was a buy. It's still on EU. And the thing is, if you don't do this work, when you go onto your chart, you would not know the rules to stick by. And because you do not have enough proof that this thing works, you would start to second guess yourself, and guess what happens? You would end up taking messy trades, and you would not be able to still maximize the system and make profit with it, because it's a system of probability. If you do not know how to stick with it through the bad times and the good times, you will never hit profits in the market. It's simple. The way you hit profits in the market is by using a system the exact same way every single time, non-stop. You don't skip trades. You take every single one that meets that system, because you're trading the system, not the market. Anyways, if you do not listen, you will struggle for a lifetime. If you listen, you're most likely going to succeed, but you need to do this hard work. That's Friday 14th, 10 a.m. Friday 14th, 10 a.m. Okay, this is March 14th. So we've taken only 4 trades in 3 months. That's crazy. So this is just 4 trades. And how long have we been on this video? We've been in this video for 36 minutes. Oh my god, 36 minutes backtesting just 4 trades, even though I was moving as fast as possible and I was creating things on the fly, which you may not have because you're a beginner. But let me show you what works for beginners, or even if you're a little bit advanced and you've been here for a while. Let's say you've been here for 3, 4, 6 years, you're still struggling. That's simply because you've refused to do the work that leads you to profitability. But I want to show you something that's changed the game for you, and it's all on this website called DMC-IC.uwu.ai. Just go there. It will save you a ton of stress. It will save you a whole ton of stress. Let me explain why. Because you see, I know I said that this system I just showed you does not have all the fireworks, but you see, this one has all the fireworks. Tested for 5 years plus, has all the rules set out, and and it's funny enough, it's free. Let me tell you why it's free. Because the way I want to make money off of this is I want to get you funded using my system. Then we're going to split your first payout 50-50. That's how I'm going to get my money for what I'm giving you. But the system itself is free. But all you have to do is to deposit money for the funded accounts that you will be getting. That's all you have to do. So, but first things first, does it even work? Just go to this page, do your due diligence, and study it as deeply as you can. Please do that. Study it as deeply as possible. This is one of those journals where I was creating a system. This is what it actually looks like, not the one I just showed. That's simplified as possible. And this was back in 2022. Right? So just do your due diligence and study this. But what I want to show you now is one of the systems that will be giving you. People get payouts to this thing, because I'm confident enough to risk my own money to want to give you a funded account. Right? So that's me right there. And just go and do your own due diligence. So don't know why the slideshow stopped working. There's a slideshow here that's supposed to be showing you the result of the system from 2023, but that's even not the one we're using. The one we're using is the slide system. Is revolutionary, and there's a button here that confirms all the results. Just come here and click it. I want you to go through all the trades. I know you were seeing trades with 1-4, 1-3, 6. If you come here, you see something that blows your mind. Let's go DP and look at something. What do you see? RR 20, 1-20. So one trade and you get what? 20 R back. One trade you get 12 R. The minimum RR here is literally 7. Yeah, 7. And the highest one here we can see is 48, and that is sick. So let's look at what some of these wins look like. This was a HF before. Now I'm not showing you the lower time frame because obviously that's a proprietary rule and it belongs to us. When you join us, even though it's free, you will get the rules for the system. This is the trade before it happened, and let's, oh my god, where am I? Okay, how do I go back to where I was? Oh my god, what is this? Oh yes, okay, great. So after, boom, see the entry point, pum, straight to TP. I'm not saying we don't take losses. Losses are everywhere. Let's look at the first loss here. It looks exactly the same, right? You can see, boom. Try to take an entry over here, and what do we have? It's a loss. Yes, every system has losses, but let's take a look at another win. Let's look at this 148. What does it look like? Okay, this is the LG entry here. TP, boom, boom. See, just go on this website and do your due diligence. Look at all these trades from this system. This is the exact system you'll be getting. Now 148 means that, let me first of all tell you how much you need to get funded. So once you get funded a 5k account or a 10k account or any amount at all, my target for you is 12.5%, meaning that you just need to take one trade that hits 12.5 R, or 1:5 3 times, or 1:3 4 times, 1:4 3 times, 1:5 2.5 times, and you've gotten the requirement to get your payout. Because if you get a 12.5% return on an account, on a 5k account you'll be getting $500 after the profit takes down profit split. On a 10k account you'll be getting $1,000. On a 25k account you'll be getting $2.5k. On a 50k account you'll be getting $5,000 on the dot. That's all you need to do. So I'm not going to drag this video on too long. Just come on here and do your due diligence. Read this thing. And something I need to remind you again: 9 out of 10 traders who try to succeed on their own never make it. They get chewed up and spat up by the cycle of doom, and if you try to do it on your own, you'll most likely be next. What does it look like? You're going to have to go through unstructured learning for 2 to 4 months, then false confidence, losing streak 2 to 3 months. You blow your account, you hope your hope crashes, and you're all back to unstructured learning all over again, and you can be in a cycle for years. I was in a cycle for years, because I'm telling you. But when you join this inner circle, which is free, but all you have to do is deposit money for your funded account, which you'll be given, and when you're done with the training, you go through structured training, hands-on guidance, data-driven practice, confident execution, consistent growth, and then you scale and see freedom from month 3. Because I don't even know how to there's no point trying to convince you to do this anymore, because this is just what you need to succeed, and you get it. It's straight to the point. So just come to this page, do your due diligence, read everything, and come and join us. We're waiting for you. That's all I'll be saying on this particular matter. So I'll see you in the next video, and I do hope that you take something valuable from this video, because people don't always tell you these truths. They tell you just do signals, just do copy trading. My dear, it ends in tears all the time. It ends in tears. So my dear, just do your thing, do your due diligence, and if you spend enough time let's imagine that you don't want to join the inner circle, you want to do it on your own, you want to spend all the years, the time and the effort, no problem. Just know something: you can't get your time back, you can't get your energy back, you can't get your blood. Can you get your blood back? You can't really get those things back, but what you can get back is your money. You're going to spend this money either ways. Why not just use it and fast track your journey? Simple, straight to the point. As opposed to trying to, I know the fear of loss is greater than the possibility of gain, yes, but let me show you something very crazy. If you go to this page, just scroll down, look for this I think it's a guarantee or something. Yeah, and I sent trades too, just so in case you're wondering if you can earn while you're learning. Yes, you can. Let me show you something very crazy. Try this inner circle risk-free for 60 days. Here's the deal: I'm so confident in these systems that I'm willing to make you an extraordinary guarantee. Join Inner Circle, follow one of our complete systems exactly as instructed for 60 days, and if you haven't either 1. successfully passed the prop firm challenge or made significant progress towards passing with documented proof, then not only will I refund 100% of your payment, but I'll also pay for your next prop firm challenge up to $50. This means there's absolutely zero risk for you. But listen, since the day we opened the doors to this program, something remarkable has happened. Not a single student who went through the training, followed every instruction, and did the work has failed to see significant growth. Not one. Our internal stats do not lie. 100% success rate for students who stick to the process. Zero refund requests ever, because what we teach works. It's hard, yes. It's not easy, yes, but it gets the job done. That's why we can look you straight in the eye and make this crazy guarantee, because the numbers are not just in our favor, they are overwhelmingly in yours. So the whole point is, once you get the system, you learn it in 2 hours, you're done. So you learn it, you start to practice it. Now you don't have to gather 100 trades. All you need to do is train your eyes well enough to see them. I already have my own backtested proof that I will give to you. You used to train your brain that this thing works. Then go do your own small backtest for 1 year, even though it's not up to 100 trades. As you've done for 1 year, that 1 year you'd have mastered the system, and you can now go on to execute it flawlessly and make profit as I am making profit, because it's a mechanical system. The same trades I'm taking are the same trades you'll be taking. There's never that situation where, okay, we're trading, we're using the same system, but then I'm making profit and you're making losses. Not possible, because we're trading the exact same rules, the exact same way every single time, and the consistent rules equals to consistent result, period. So if you're ready to break free, this is what you need to do. But you need to know something. If you've not gone through my 5-day mechanical trading program, you can't join us, because you need to have I need to be sure that you know the basics. I need to be sure that you understand risk management, because if you don't know that, you're going to lose me money, and I don't want you to lose me money. So what you need to do is come here, you see video 1, you need to watch video 2, you need to do. If you watch it 2, then you can join us, blah 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 blah. That's it, end of story. So just come to this page and do your due diligence. That'll be all for this video. See you in the next one. Goodbye.